This looks like a settlement. Can't believe how well preserved it is.
You think people could be alive in there?
You should really consider thinking before you speak. And then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
Or they could be zombies.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable Pal now.
Don't you dare. We might need him.
Ooh, more buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
And I thought you were getting the hang of these. Very well. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the full width and height of the panel. Just having Pal running in the background is making us all a little stupider. If we did switch Pal off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something.
There.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down. And I wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision-making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop.
The settlement is through the large doors behind you. The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you going to tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws?
Having a few flaws is perfectly all right.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me whoever it is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant me access? Logic. Seriously?
She has no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn the place down. I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow Pal here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Hello, Adie. Where do you want to start?
Can we start with the security door to the settlement elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
So you can open these ones?
They have simple passcodes. I can retrieve and play back for you. You will need to enter the sequence manually.
This looks like another control room. This must be the spire structure. It must be in this section here. Can you tell me where Grace's processors are located?
You would need to access the console, which is directly across from the map.
More missing equipment.
This looks carefully removed.
These are databanks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
Is this the console?
Yes, this is where humans can track activity within the spire. Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try. There are records here of people who have occupied the rooms over the years.
Do we know the spire's capacity?
50 units. There are millions of names here.
Millions. If a million people cycled through here, no one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates. There it is. Okay, I found record of an Everett who stayed on the 3rd floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the spire.
So, Everett was a worker, or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the 3rd floor.
Perhaps we can find one on the spire map.
All right, what are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Adie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has always been the answer.
Okay, can you get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
I can see apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3. I can climb this.
I suppose.
I don't see many other options. It's pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Adie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom. Whoa.
Adie! Adie! Are you okay?
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
So, you're going to try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Adie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Falling's kind of fun. It's like really short flying.
Please, be careful.
This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
This is so exciting.
You're still not helping. Oh boy.
Easy, Adie. Concentrate on your breathing. Very good. Now keep walking forward.
I can't watch.
I knew you could do it.
You should really try running across next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd be faster, too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
2-week work contracts?
Or were people just visiting the spire? This looks like a shrine.
To honor Grace.
That must be her symbol. Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder. I've seen ones where people sat on ceramic bowls of water.
Ha! If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
You still don't know whoever it is, do you?
I'll light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom. I don't see a way up.
Here's the code.
Not much here either. Here we go.
We still have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
I guess if you don't want to do the beam stuff, that's okay.
Here's the code.
I don't see any signs of unrest or violence.
And they left little behind.
People sat or knelt here.
This was a place for meditation.
Here you go.
Someone tore this apart.
And took the pieces somewhere.
You're right. That's certainly interesting. Someone's removed the keypad. Figure this was left here as a token, or an offering? Another way up.
This is level 3, Adie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett. What's the code?
Of course.
There we go. Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister. You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Hey, Grace. I really don't know why you would choose me. I guess no one really knows why they're called to the Spire, but I'm greatly honored. At my age, I thought
That's all I can recover from this one.
Sounds like Grace chose who came here.
That explains why Grace arranged all the flights to and from the Spire. She was in control of it all.
All right.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Here you go.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
You can do this one.
Of course.
Let's try this one.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from our station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
Oh, I've got one! We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
Here you go. Try again.
That's it. Someone left a portrait.
I'm here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months, who we could help, who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back. I want her back.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes. If anyone knows how to reach Keeper Everett, please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator.
Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on.
Here you go.
Perfect. Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Adie.
Not cool, boss. Control? Unbelievable. Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe fear also played a part here.
Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your horses.
I doubt you'll ever get this message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now, and I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful, and I hope he will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us, with your wisdom. You are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes, and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect.
Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm just doing my job.
I've been instructed by Grace to make a wish. Not something big and altruistic, not for someone else, but for me. A real, honest wish, my heart's true desire. Honestly, this long flight to the middle of nowhere, months without my family, missing the harvest with a per diem that barely covers expenses, for what? Some mystical song and dance that makes us feel like we're somehow part of this robot theocracy. This whole thing, the temple, the hushed tones, the awe that people seem to show this place is ridiculous. My honest wish is to be left alone long enough to actually make some headway on the farm and pull in a decent crop.
It doesn't sound like everyone was happy to come here.
For Grace to understand what made people unhappy was just as important as knowing what made them content.
Here you go.
Great. I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
My demand is that you go to the elevator at once.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
Only Grace. They were tracking something here. Terracycles, maybe?
They'd lost sync with Earth?
Or the spire lost power.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I feel like, there's been peace for like centuries now, right? But I watch the old Halos, and there's wars and bad guys and pirates and people who need saving, and it's exciting, right? And of course, it's awful, people dying. But I feel like there's no way to prove yourself. Nothing to fix or protect. Does that make any sense? I just want something, anything at all, to happen. I guess that's what I wish for. Not like a war or anything, just something.
So this guy was just bored?
Like me.
I think this was the last room.
It is.
Finally. You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right? Look at all the vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us. Did you like my little game?
You mean the game where you refused to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Adie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.